Hi, welcome to the Data Fight channel. My name is Clara Raphael and I'm your facilitator for the Power BI course. Are you a data enthusiast, budding data analyst, or just transitioning into the data space? Or have you ever been given a data set and you're asked to analyze it and get insight from it, and you're confused on what to do? Then this video is for you. Today, we're going to be learning how to draft questions from any dataset. I'm going to be showing you 7 effective steps to achieving that. Step 1, you need to understand your dataset. Before drafting your business question, you need to thoroughly understand the dataset you're working with. And how can you achieve that? First thing first, examine your dataset. Examine the structure, look at the tables, the columns, the relationship, and all of those things. Then you understand the context. Learn about the industry or domain related to the dataset. For every dataset, there is a domain, there's a process, and as the data analyst, you have to gain an understanding of that process before you even go ahead to analyze the data. And one other thing you can also do for you to understand the data set is to perform basic data profiling, like checking the data distribution, the unique values, checking for inconsistencies, missing values, and all of those stuff. The second step will be identify key metrics and dimensions. So I'll call metrics as the quantitative data in your dataset and dimensions as the categorical data within your dataset. So how can you identify this? First of all, you list the numeric values that are present in your dataset. This could be sales, revenue, attendance, and all whatnot, right? So it's dependent on the field or domain you're working with. Then secondly, you go ahead to recognize the categorical attributes that provide context. Categorical dimensions could be products, can be customers, in the educational settings can be students or courses. So when you're able to identify your metrics and the dimensions, it's will go a long way to help you draft business questions. After identifying these two important things in your data set, you write them down and you proceed to the next step, which is define the business goal. So every business has a goal. Every business has what they want to achieve with their data. So businesses are collecting data and they have in mind what they want to achieve with this data. So what you need to do as data analyst, first of all, is to understand what the company aims to achieve using the data. And when you get that understanding, you go ahead to ensure that the questions that you're coming up with should be related and aligned to the business goal. You go ahead to formulate your question. First of all, you've identified the matrix, you've understood the business context. So you put those two things together, and in that context, you start drafting out your questions based on the data set, the matrix, dimensions, and business goal you have been able to identify. And don't forget, when you're drafting out these questions, you create questions that are smart. They should be specific, they should be actionable, and should be measurable. After formulating these questions, it does not end there. You have to prioritize your questions. Not all questions are equally important or actionable. First of all, you prioritize your questions based on your relevance, based on the impact on the company, and the feasibility, right? You have to rank these questions from high to low priority. Then prioritizing your questions doesn't just end there. You have to validate these questions. So you drafted your questions, you prioritize them. Before you finalize, validate the question. Always check to ensure that the questions that you've drafted down can be answered with the available data and Power BI capabilities or the tool you'll be working with. Also check that this data or the necessary data is present, and if not, consider how to obtain it or manipulate it. And finally, document your questions. You have to document your questions. You write it down so that it sticks better and more. Your documentation should include the question itself, the context, the matrix and dimensions involved, and the priority level. I hope these steps would help you formulate questions from any dataset. Thank you.